Hello. Welcome to Jimmy's Records and Tapes. I'm Jimmy Pardo. This week we're talking about my top 5 favorite musicals.
We've got it on vinyl, CD and cassette. We've got pop, rock, heavy metal, punk, funk, rap, and new wave. All sales on vinyl, but you'll never regret all the music you get at Jimmy's Records and Tapes.
I'm loving music again. Hi there. We've been waiting for you, as Bud Friedman used to say at the top of Evening at the Improv. Welcome into Jimmy's Records and Tapes. We're going to be talking about my 5 favorite musicals this week. Now, here's the thing. Back in the record store days, we were a big record store, but not a huge record store. So soundtracks and original cast recordings were put in together. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Do I think that Top Gun and Tommy should be in the same area? No, they shouldn't be. Separate them. Movie? Wait, Tommy and... I meant Tommy the stage version, not Tommy the movie. Horrible example, right out of the box. Just out of the box, stupid. I can't be dumber. I love a musical. I love a parade. I love a rainy night. The Great Eddie Rabbitt. He may not be dead. I don't remember. The one thing I know about Eddie Rabbitt, he liked the windshield wipers going back and forth, keeping time for him while he was driving back from a gig. I don't know what that song's about. I don't even know if it's in a musical. Why are you talking about Eddie Rabbitt? Why are you wasting any time with Eddie Rabbitt when you've got 5 musicals to talk about, sir? I agree with you, kind listener, viewer. I love a musical. You know that because I just told you 4 sentences ago. Did musicals in high school where I always got the non-singing role. I was always the comedic relief. Why? Because I was funny. Not because I couldn't sing, because I was funny. Not because I couldn't hold a note, because I was funny. Not because other guys had better voices than me and maybe were more leading man than me. Nope, because I was funny. That's why I got the comic roles. Not because I couldn't sing or be a dashing star, because I was funny. We did Bye Bye Birdie, where I played Randolph McAfee, who I believe was 9 years old in the movie and the original play, and I was in high school. And I believe it's Sweet Apple, Ohio, I think is where Bye Bye Birdie takes place. And I could not find a Cleveland Indians jersey or hat, so I wore a Pittsburgh Pirates jersey and hat, and rationalized that Pennsylvania is close to Ohio, and everybody seemed to go along with it. Again, no singing there. I was also in Anything Goes. By the way, if you have not done this yet, I do this. Whenever I'm in a kind of a sad mood, I will watch the clip of Sutton Foster doing Anything Goes and tap dancing, and it's wonderful, and it raises my spirits. So I recommend, if you're ever feeling down, depressed, and lonely, I recommend go watch Sutton Foster from Anything Goes, and it's wonderful. It just, again, it'll raise your spirits. So that's what I did in high school. I loved it. I loved doing musicals. We only did 2 in the time that I was there, and then we did dramas. My other 2 years, where I once again, ironically, they gave me the singing roles in those. There was no singing, but I would sing all my lines, and I never got cast. None of that's true. What did we do? Whose Life Is It Anyway? We did that one. That was a drama where I played a lawyer. And if you ever saw me on, this is 100% true, if you saw me on That 70s Show, where I played the station manager, I'm holding a coffee cup, and I'm using it as a prop. That is an homage to my character in my high school play, where I had a coffee cup, and I used that as a prop. And I saw that, and I said, you know what? This gives me the opportunity to bring that back. And maybe, just maybe, one person from high school will go, it's an homage to Whose Line Is It Anyway, where he played the a-hole lawyer. I might have been the nice lawyer. I forget what lawyer I was, but I was a lawyer in that. Love it. Got to go back to for my high school reunion not long. I love sharing this story whenever I bring up high school. Went back to my 20-year high school reunion. At the time, I had not one but 2 TV shows on the air. I had a game show, and I had the Movies at Our House with my friend Rachel Quaintance. And I walk into they're taking the photo. I arrived maybe egotistically late. Maybe I intentionally came late because I wanted to make an entrance. Or maybe it was like, I don't know if I'm going to go along with these people. Maybe we should limit the time that we're there. I forget why, but they're doing the group photo as we arrive, and Lynn says, quickly, get in there. They're doing the group photo. So I'm running in, and as I'm running in, I hear somebody go, he's here. Jimmy Pardo's here. And somebody else said, why does that matter? So, good to be back. Good to be back. Coffee cup. Number 5, favorite musical, Company. The great Sondheim. Never saw it on stage until recently. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever saw Company was when the theaters do those Fathom events where they live stream a movie to various movie theaters around the country. Neil Patrick Harris is in the starring role. Craig Bierko, John Cryer, Patti LuPone, Elaine Stritch did the role as well. Not in this. Another 100 People. What a great song that is. Ladies Who Lunch, where my wife and I, whenever we see ladies of a certain age, it's almost like a battle to see who can say to the other one, "Here's to the ladies who lunch." Does anybody still wear a hat? Oh my God. And Being Alive, that song alone. Being Alive. I can't do it. It's not fair. I love it. I love Company. And I like Sondheim. I don't love him. I'm not a Sondheim head like other people are. I love him. But I love Company. Number 4, Les Mis, the movie version. I know people hated it. I know. I love the stage version. Of course I do. But it was the movie version that convinced me to love it. Do I even enjoy Russell Crowe? Yeah. He's so bad, he's good. And I know I can never really explain this well enough because everybody's like, really? Russell Crowe? He can barely sing. I know, but in the role, for me, it worked. Stars, there are stars in the sky, star. He's horrible, but it works, man. It works. Number 4, Les Mis. One Day More, the great Jean Valjean. One day more, another day, another destiny. I don't know the lyrics to a lot of things, and my wife and son make fun of me all the time. Considering how much I love songs and love singing, you'd think I would remember any of the words of anything that I sing, and I don't. I'm not good at it. I Dreamed a Dream, great song. Anyway, Les Mis, it's great. By the way, that's short for Les Miserables. I don't want anybody to go, does he not know what the actual? I know what it is, okay? But I'm in theater. Okay? Shorthand. I love the boards. Number 3, Hamilton, right? And again, these top 3 could all be number 1. They could all. I do this list tomorrow. It's in a different order. Maybe not tomorrow. Maybe next week. Maybe I'll rotate these on a regular basis. But Hamilton, phenomenal. Seen it many times. Everybody has by this point. If you haven't, I'm certainly not going, I saw it a lot and you've never seen it. See it when you can. I got very lucky and saw it early on before tickets went bananas. Hands. It's quiet uptown. Beautiful. If you don't cry at the end of Hamilton, there's something wrong with you. You don't cry at the end of Les Mis, there's something wrong with you. You don't cry at the end of Company, there's something wrong with you. Right? In fact, my number 2 and 3, you don't cry at some point during those, there's something wrong with you. Right? What's the matter with you? Don't you have any emotions? Right? Everything's got to be uplifting, huh? The play Once, I didn't, that's not on my list. I love it. But did I sob at the Pandages? Yes, I did. Beautiful. It's wonderful. Number 2, Evita. Evita was the first musical that I ever saw in person, first professional. And it turns out that my friend, Anthony Rapp, was in the cast as a kid. And I did not know that, of course, until many years later. But I still have the program from when I saw it at the Schubert Theater. It was a school field trip. We went to see Evita. And I looked in there, sure enough, there's my friend Anthony Rapp's name in there. And I think that's pretty cool that I was in high school and I went to see this play and Anthony Rapp was in it. And then years later, I become friends with Anthony Rapp. And it's just, what a weird, sliding doors, man, sliding doors. I once saw Mandy Patinkin in concert and it was at Ravinia and he was in the Chicagoland area. And he was in the indoor venue, which only sat a small number of people, but then you would have your picnic outside and you got to enjoy it. They would pipe the music out to those folks that couldn't afford the tickets. And so he kept on pretending he was going to do play-by-play and explain to the people outside what was going on. And he kept on saying, so right now what I'm doing is I'm walking from the piano back over to the stool. Now I'm leaving the stool, going over to the piano. And so he would do stuff like that. And at one point he said, I'm like Jack Brickhouse. And Jack Brickhouse was a very famous Chicago Cubs announcer before Harry Carey took over. And so he kept making jokes about Jack Brickhouse. And then he was like talking about how Jack Brickhouse died and how we missed Jack Brickhouse. And it's a shame that Jack Brickhouse died because he was a great broadcaster. So I'm at the stage door afterwards. I'm with my friend Karen. And I'm waiting to get my to meet Mandy Patinkin and get my playbill signed. And Mandy is signing autographs, and he's signing and saying, hello, nice to see you, hello, nice to see you, and he's signing. And one guy goes, with a very broadcastery voice, Mandy, I'm Jack Brickhouse. And my friend Karen and I look at each other like, holy crap, it's Jack Brickhouse. He just spent 2 hours on how Jack Brickhouse is dead. And Mandy, to his credit, yells to his brother Sheldon, who is a theater teacher, Shelly, get out here. Jack Brickhouse isn't dead. And they laughed about it. And luckily, Jack Brickhouse had a great sense of humor about it. But wonderful, just wonderful. Evita, I was hooked, as everybody was, by the commercial that played nonstop, where Mandy Patinkin from the song Over the Circus says, that's all they wanted, not much to ask for. And he does it in such a way that it's not like that on the soundtrack. And if you saw it, I'm sure he didn't do it that way. But for this one performance, he did it that way. But that's what got me hooked on Evita, that one line. And that one line made me a huge Mandy Patinkin fan. Honorable mention, Chess. I love it. I love Chess. I love the musical Chess. The book stinks. It basically sounds like a lost ABBA album. I mean, that's the truth, because it's Benny and Bjorn, along with Tim Rice, who did the lyrics. Tim Rice also did the lyrics along with to Lloyd Webber's composition for Evita. One Night in Bangkok is that musical's King Herod. You know, it's there. The rest of it is not that. But again, the book isn't great, but the songs are great. If you want to listen to it as a concept album, I recommend you do it that way. You will very much enjoy it. Chess. And number one, Jesus Christ Superstar. We all know that. We all know I love JC Superstar. You know what? Hamilton and Evita could battle it out for 1 and 2. I'm sorry, for 2 and 3. But I think Superstar is always going to be number one. I just love it. I just love it. I'll see a community theater version of it and walk away going, that was great, even if it wasn't. I like every song. I did get to see Ted Neely do it a number of times. Saw Carl Anderson do it. I saw the tour with Dennis DeYoung, played Pilot. Yvonne Elliman. Of course, I saw it with Irene Cara doing the role of Mary. It's just, I think it's great. I recognize that it's very dated. It's very of the time. But I love it. So number one, Jesus Christ Superstar, Lloyd Webber, Tim Rice, Jimmy Pardo. Hey, it's time for this week's Jimmy's Choice. Comes to us from @RealJoshCarico. I assume that's how you pronounce his last name. CARRICO. @RealJoshCarico. Was Josh Carico taken? And this guy's the legit one? Like Richard Lewis has the Richard Lewis, or the real Richard, I forget what it is. Either way, why does Josh have to separate himself from the other Josh Caricos that are out there with their Twitter handles? He wants me to decide, and again, if you forget what these are, I'm thrown 2 recording artists, and I have to decide as if it's Sophie's Choice. They're in a Thunderdome, and only one of them can walk out. And it doesn't mean that I don't love both of them or hate both of them. I just have to make a decision based on the 2 names I'm given. And in this case, it's Cyndi Lauper versus Madonna. I own every Cyndi Lauper album. I own Madonna's greatest hits. Did I own Madonna's Like a Virgin on white vinyl original pressing back in the 80s that I sold for $50. And the second I sold it to the guy, he brought it over to his table at the record convention and put a $400 price tag on it. Yes, that's true. Did he then sell it later on at the convention for $400? Yes, he did. I sold it for $50, thinking, this rube, it's a promo. There's a million of them. I didn't know it was hard to find. There wasn't the internet then. There was, I think, Goldmine, I think, was the newspaper that you used for record collecting. But I just wanted to get rid of my collection, man. I was moving. And I sold it for $50 and then watch him make a $350 profit that I could have used to help me on my move. I also went to see her on the Like a Virgin tour. The Beastie Boys opened up, and then Madonna came out and did her show. And a guy named Scott, who worked for WEA at the time, that stands for Warner Brothers Elektra and Asylum. Atlantic Records. A guy named Scott, last name C, said, hey, do you want to meet Madonna? I said, you're darn right I want to meet Madonna. And he said, all right, hang out here. Let me go get the backstage passes. And we waited. My girlfriend Dawn and I, we waited, and 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 we waited. And the UIC Pavilion is getting emptier and emptier, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And then Scott Cameron comes out with no backstage passes, not even one for himself, and said, can't help you, man. She's being a real bee. Which meant they wouldn't even give him a backstage pass, and he blamed it on Madonna. And for that reason, I got to go with Cyndi Lauper. Hey, thanks for watching this week's Jimmy's Records and Tapes. If you liked it, hit the like button. There's the Spotify playlist. Go check that out if you want to hear any of the tunes that we were talking about. At Jimmy Pardo on Twitter. And, of course, I host the award-winning podcast, Never Not Funny. Until next time, the record is back in its sleeve.